I think that the public is owed an explanation of the motivations behind the people who make these disclosures that are outside of the democratic model. When you are subverting the power of government, that's a fundamentally dangerous thing to democracy. And if you do that in secret consistently, as the government does when it wants to benefit from a secret action that it took, it'll kind of give its officials a mandate to go, hey, tell the press about this thing and that thing, so the public is on our side. But they rarely, if ever, do that when an abuse occurs. That falls to individual citizens, but they're typically maligned. It becomes a thing of these people are against the country, they're against the government, but I'm not.
Hi, my name is Jason Burke. I'm the director of this project. A few of my past films include the documentary Shadow Company and most recently, Music for Mandela.
And my name is Travis Doreen. I'll be serving as one of the producers on this film. Some of my credits include the TV pilot Hacked and the Canadian sci-fi series Continuum, where I served as a hacking consultant on Season 2.
You may have heard about the recently leaked documents detailing American intelligence programs such as PRISM, a data mining program, and a multi-use tool known as XKeyscore. XKeyscore allows an analyst to search metadata and cross-reference it with archived files collected from other sources. PRISM, on the other hand, is what collects the data via direct access to US partner servers such as Microsoft and Apple. PRISM and other related programs, which give unrestricted access to a target's digital treasure trove of information, are authorized by the American government under the Section 702 of the FISA Amendments Act, which was passed by Congress in 2008. Now, this revision to the FISA, or as it's formerly known, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, was crafted in order to facilitate the American intelligence community and their need for effective foreign intelligence gathering. The information obtained could then be analyzed and used to mitigate the effect of nuclear proliferation, terrorism, and cyber attacks.
Every day, companies like Google use similar consolidated metadata to effectively market their partners' products towards their users. Now, the government collecting metadata and using programs which are authorized under FAA 702 to acquire more detailed information may not seem like the worst idea in the world. That is, if you're not a terrorist. However, being able to effectively pinpoint malicious activity in a sea of users requires a mass acquisition of information, and the act of acquiring that information has a huge potential for abuse. Having an analyst that's able to search for someone whose language is out of place for the region they're in, detect if they're using encryption, or simply searching the web for subjects that have been deemed suspicious, could lead to a lot of unintentional surveillance and/or misconduct. This is precisely what concerned a 27-year-old working with computer giant Dell. His name was Edward Snowden.
Over the last decade, I've learned a lot about filmmaking. But in my opinion, the most important element is character development. Even with a subject as interesting as mass surveillance, without having a practical character for the audience to relate to, it's very hard to build an emotional connection. Whether that's excitement, anger, or fear, without an emotional connection, your film is nothing.
And that's why our film, classified The Edward Snowden Story, is going to be focused exclusively on Edward's life. We will start our story with his desire to join the United States Army Reserve and follow him on his 9-year career with the US government, during which time he worked with the CIA and NSA, as well as 2 private contractors, Dell and Booz Allen Hamilton. We'll be answering the question, what made him the man he is today?
Now, that being said, we'd like to clarify that this is not going to be a generalized debate about the morality of government surveillance. Instead, this is one man's story about himself and his individual views. It'll be shot as a feature film, and as such will have the same quality as any Hollywood production.
With one fundamental difference. This film will be distributed under the Creative Commons license, which allows for anyone to share it freely, whether that be on YouTube, Vimeo, or via torrent. Classified The Edward Snowden Story will be initially available for download via the Pirate Bay on September 19th, 2014.
Now, making a feature film is expensive, and we need your help to complete this project. Right now, we have a fantastic script that's being revised by various consultants, some of which are currently employed by the US government, and others that have personal ties to Snowden himself. Now, given the nature of this film, we believe it could never be accurately portrayed with the restrictions implemented by a big-budget studio.
We are trying to reach a funding goal of 1.7 million. As mentioned earlier, unlike typical Kickstarter Indiegogo campaigns, we plan on releasing the completed film for free. Many other campaigns use your financial backing to produce their film, which they can then flip to a distributor. Filmmakers then make an exorbitant profit without having to pay a percentage to their investors, campaign donators, with anything other than a few trinkets. This is not our plan. This is a film made by the audience for the audience, and as such, when we reach our goal, you will have already paid for Classified: The Edward Snowden Story, and it'll be available for everyone to enjoy.
We'd also like to use this opportunity to reach out to Edward himself. While we've employed a number of consultants on the film, it is very important to us that the story be portrayed as accurately as possible, and we would love the opportunity to speak with him directly. So Edward, if you're out there, you know where to find us.
If you're interested in making a contribution to our film, you can do so by heading over to our website, snowden.sx. Any questions, please feel free to email us at info@snowden.sx. We will do our very best to respond to every single message that we receive. Thank you.
Thank you.